everyone, welcome back to Procrastinate with Books. This is me Yamini and I'm a bit under the weather, so just a quick disclaimer, this will be my voice for today's video. Please bear with it, and that's the sole reason why the video of this week has been delayed a bit. So thanks so much for being patient, and let's continue watching, going ahead into the video. So to make this lethargic start of my month a little more energetic, I thought of sharing my recent favorite middle grade series with you, which is the Falennheim Chronicles. And what is even better is the last part of this trilogy will be out on 6th of June. So I can officially say now that you can go ahead and binge read the whole series. And here's the list of pros that will help you convince you why you should actually give this series a try. Pro number 1, none of the books in these series is longer than 300 pages. They are all 250 to 300-ish pages, not more than that. So it's a pretty short length and can be read easily. Pro number 2, it's summer vacation time and we all want something which is very delightful but in a light mood to read and watch. So this would be perfect for that as well. Number 3, that all the books have a proper ending, so you won't get a cliffhanger just because it's a series. So if you don't want to commit yourself to reading all the 3 books together, maybe you can give the first book a try, and if you do like it, you can give other books a try as well. Now, starting with the story, book 1 in this series, Relatively Normal Secret, is a story about Zed and Tuesday, who are brothers and sisters, and this is for the obviously age category of middle grade, so that's where these children are aged out between, and they are living their normal life on earth, and suddenly one day their parents have to flee a certain situation because of an impending danger, and that's where they realize that even though their parents have fled the danger did not really stop chasing these children, and that's where they are now fleeing the danger and getting through different situations, and that's where they find themselves magically transported into a different dimension altogether. And they do understand that this is not Earth and everybody is basically their enemy in here, and the road lies ahead to discover the whole path and how do they get back to Earth from the dimension in which they are currently stuck in. So when I first read this book, it gave me a sort of feel of a combination of Mission Impossible with all the action elements and The Incredibles with all the superpowers in it, that combined together with the magical elements. That's what the first book felt to me like. Now, quick alert, in case you have not read the book 1, the details discussed henceforth into the video would be a kind of spoiler for book 1, so you can skip that out and directly jump onto the library hall section of the video. I have timestamped it in the description, so you can check it there. Book 2, The Secret Benefits of Invisibility, is a later part of how Zed and Tuesday basically get accustomed to living in Falennheim. They even start going to school one day and life is gradually getting streamlined, but suddenly one day the school trip gets interrupted when a resistance group actually attacks them and locks all the children in the basement, and that's where they discover that all the adults have been locked up in the castle too. And now it's all a haywire situation. The resistance is trying to take over the government, or you can say in the Fallenheim dimension, and that's where it's up to these children now, who are basically considered invisible because of the underestimated values of powers that they may have, and they are now going to save the day. The secret rescue operation is going to start with the most unexpected members of Fallenheim, and from there on the book gets so hilarious, especially the last portion or the last pages of the book are typically so hilarious. There is a little bit of tukka shown in there, but I think it was very entertaining to read. Book 3, Tales of the Forgotten Founders, is a part where Zed and Tuesday are getting accustomed to living their life in the palace because of a historical secret that they have recently discovered about their mother's relation in correspondence to Fallenheim dimension altogether, and that's why they are living in palace now. While they are living there, taking their classes and history lessons with strolls across the gallery and passageways, they are discovering a lot of secrets, passages, and amongst one of the passages they do discover a secret room in there, which is actually filled with a trunk that has a lot of stuff from Earth, especially baby rhymes and children's book like Peter Pan and all those things. And they are now wondering that their parent created such a big fuss about how difficult it is to travel from one dimension to other or travel back to Earth, and it's a secret that nobody except the royalties know. And after discovering this particular trunk, now they are having second thoughts that is it really that big of a secret? If so, who else knows this, and whose stuff is there in that trunk, and how did it get here? Now, what I personally find a lot alluring in this whole series is the writing style of the author and her comical ways of displaying certain situations throughout the series. I do remember specifically in part 2 there was this particular scene where they were describing someone's face, and he said he just looked like he was about to be reacquainted with his breakfast. And reading that was very funny. So I have found something in the book 3 as well, which actually read like the portrait gallery was exactly what Tuesday had expected. A long echoing hall lined with life-size paintings of people in old-fashioned costumes who all looked like they had toothaches. And while I do enjoy my gothic vibes and dark academia stuff, I feel like time and again when life gets really stressful and you have to cope up with a lot of reality, I think books like these come in very handy, which are very light in mood to read, and you can just flip through them and have an entertaining story to read. What's even better is that there are a lot of cliches that have been broken throughout the different series of the book, especially related to the colors that project a certain gender, like pink for girls and blue for boys kind of stuff. Those stereotypes are broken quite well in the whole series. The book is aimed at middle graders, but I do see a lot of different people enjoying this from different age groups as well, especially because of the light-hearted feel and the adventurous mood this book actually gets you into. So I think if you have enjoyed the blurbs, I would recommend you to check this book out for sure, at least the book 1, and then you can take your own call from there whether you want to give the other parts a try or not. But at least try the book 1. I'm sure it will get you hooked up into it. And with that, I think the 3-book series summary is now over, and we will be tuning into the next part of the video. But before that, an honorable mention and a big thanks to Cinema Mud Publishing for sending these books over to me. Now, moving ahead to the second part of the video, which is the Neilson Hayes library sale. Yes, you heard me right, library sale. I actually got to know about the concept of library sale quite late. I am a bit late bloomer in that category if you want to discuss that at length. But yeah, there is this booktuber Emily Fox, and she got some of the books from library sale, and that's where I got to know. So I googled up libraries near me and got to know that Neilson Hayes was about to host a library sale very soon. So I was very excited, and there is no recording allowed in depth inside, so I only have a few glimpses of in and out journey. So let's tune in. So like I mentioned, I actually did go twice to the library sale just to see what all stock they had. Even on their website they had mentioned that you should probably go there again and again just to recheck the kind of stock they are laying out. So here's what I got in total. So for the first visit, I actually got these 3 books, and this is done by me. The book was plain white, but it had the library stamp in here, and I didn't really like it, so I did that. And in my next 2 visit, I got these. So strictly speaking, I wanted to see if I can get my hands on some unique collections from library, because otherwise you can simply buy books from bookstores. But I was looking for certain unique things which would be a good to have in my collection, and by that I mean I was looking for certain first time editions or a very long past journey of a historical books. Of course these books are second hand, but they were in good condition, and considering I wanted to add them to my collection, I was looking at all those parameters before buying anything. First book, A Taste of Nightshade, is a book about a historical mystery which basically focuses on a person who has wronged someone in the past, and he runaways from the situation, and later he marries a woman, and she, the innocent one, feels she's so lucky that he has married her, and then she actually realizes that he married her just for the fortune, and she started looking into different cookbooks to actually have different sets of recipes that she could try to ail her failing marriage, but she ends up discovering something new altogether, and that's where the whole story derails from there and takes an opposite turn. And I will keep it to that just to keep it spoiler free, and I hope I enjoyed them, because I did a little bit of something artwork in here, because this book, this stamp in here, no longer property of King County Library System. Similar stamp was there here as well, which I did not really like. Two reasons to buy this book: one, obviously the story first, and second, this is a first edition, so I'm very happy to get it acquired. My next book is Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, which for a change is a non-fiction book in the true crime category and revolves around an event that actually happened in history, and it's a true crime mystery solving book around it. The other reason for getting this one is that it's a very old edition. This is not the first edition. This is, I think, republished in 1994 and was originally somewhere published around 1932. It's one of the oldest book I own now, so I'm really happy to get this one on my hands. There was another strategic book as well that I got, but I'm not very keen on starting this one. This one was, I just wanted to have a one-time read around what business strategies do people really talk about while they are looking at such books. So just giving this one a try. I'll let you know if I find anything hopeful in here. My next book on the list is One Thing Stolen. I got this in hardcover because it was in a really good condition, no yellow pages, and the story was so amazing. This is a tale about obsession, art collection, and a very rare neurological disorder which the main protagonist in the book is struggling from, as she gets obsessed with different personalities and then starts to steal things from them. And because of this habit of hers, there is a lot of hindrances going on in her family's life, and they are just trying to deal with things, and there is a mystery around those aspects. So the story is about that main protagonist, and mainly behind her obsession with different people and things and the activity of stealing. And a lot of depth has been given into the neurological disorder aspect as well, so that is something that made me very intrigued on picking this one up. So that's there. My next book is Revelations. This one was purely a story buy for me, and also it's a first edition as well. This one is about vampire story, and just look at the inside of this book too. It is so pretty. Hardcovers are always pretty, I think. Yes, and this was also very, very beautiful with a lot of illustrations inside like this. And so my friends, these were all the books that I got, 4 hardcovers and 1 paperback from the library sale edition from Neilson. I think it was a pretty good deal considering the stack. I hope you had a lovely time watching the video. I'll catch up with you in my next video. Until then, keep your coffee strong and your TBRs long. Goodbye.